No. Soursop does not cure cancer, and I want to be honest with you fast because I saw this video land in 3 different patients' laps this month. There is no human evidence it treats any cancer, and there is a real safety catch nobody mentions. Here is where the famous number came from. A lab took Soursop compounds called acetogenins and dripped them onto cancer cells in a dish. Those cells died. Somebody translated that into a headline. Soursop kills cancer cells, 10,000 times better than chemotherapy. The number traveled further than the study ever did. It came from cell culture, what scientists call in vitro, meaning glass, meaning a plastic while on a bench. It never came from a person. I spent years sitting across from people on treatment, and I learned to respect why this spreads. When you or someone you love gets a diagnosis, you want a lever, you can pull yourself. Something at the grocery store, something gentle. Soursop offers all of that in one green spiky fruit, and the story wraps it in the language of suppression, the idea that a cure exists and someone is hiding it. I understand the pull. That does not make it true. So let me walk through what the 10,000 number actually means, because the gap matters. In a dish, you control everything. You pick the concentration. You pour the compound directly onto isolated cells with no liver to break it down, no bloodstream to dilute it, no kidneys clearing it, no healthy tissue to protect. Household chemicals kill cancer cells in a dish. A result in vitro is a reason to ask the next question. It is not a treatment. The next question is whether the compound reaches a tumor in a living body at a dose that helps without poisoning everything else. For Soursop, that human question was never answered because the human trials were never run. I checked how the major cancer bodies describe it. Memorial Sloan Kettering, in their About Herbs database, and Cancer Research UK both land in the same place. Laboratory signals exist. Human evidence does not. No clinical trials show Soursop shrinks tumors or extends survival in people. When 2 independent cancer institutions review the same literature and reach the same conclusion, that agreement carries weight. Now the part that gets left out of every miracle video. Soursop is not harmless. Those same acetogenins, especially one called annonacin, carry a documented neurotoxic signal. Researchers studying populations in the Caribbean, particularly Guadeloupe, described an unusual cluster of a Parkinson-like movement disorder, an atypical Parkinsonism tied to long-term dietary intake of these fruits and teas. The nervous system does not regenerate easily. A tremor or a rigidity you develop from years of Soursop tea may not reverse when you stop, so the framing of this fruit as the safe, natural, no downside option gets the risk exactly backward. You are trading an unproven benefit for a real, if uncommon, hazard. I watched what the alternative choice costs, and this is the part I care about most. The danger is rarely the fruit sitting in a smoothie. The danger is the person who reads Soursop kills cancer 10,000 times better and quietly delays or declines the treatment that has actual survival data behind it. I sat with families after that decision when a curable cancer became something else because months went by. Let me be precise about what I am and am not saying. If you like Soursop, the fruit is food. Eating it occasionally, the way you would eat any fruit, is not the concern here. What I am telling you is that concentrated Soursop supplements, graviola capsules, and daily Soursop leaf tea taken as cancer therapy are a different thing. They deliver higher, repeated doses of the exact compounds tied to that neurological risk, and they buy you nothing against the cancer. If you are in treatment, tell your oncology team about any supplement because these compounds can interact. Here is the test I want you to keep. Whenever a food is described as thousands of times stronger than chemotherapy, ask one question. In a dish or in a person? Almost every miracle fruit headline lives and dies on that difference. The compounds are interesting, and researchers keep studying acetogenins precisely because they do something to cells. Maybe one day a controlled, dosed, tested derivative earns a place. That would be earned in trials, in people, with safety data. It has not happened. Until it does, soursop is a fruit with a warning label, not a cure. I would rather you hear that from me plainly than find out the expensive way.